¿Cómo están todos? Before we get started, I just wanted to recognize two very special young women that helped do this entire event. We really depend on our volunteers at Workers' Defense Project, and everyone on staff started out as a volunteer on the organization just because we care so much about the work that we do. But I really want to recognize Bianca Hines-Foley and Maribel Falcon Orona that did this entire event as volunteers and organizers. They might not look it, but they're some of the two hardest working women I know, and very, very tough, so you don't ever want to mess with them, so thank you. I also wanted to thank all of our other volunteers that are here. We have a small staff, but every week there are about 40 different volunteers that help the organization function every week to do its work. So if you are a volunteer of the organization, please stand up. We want to recognize you. And then a lot of the other folks already standing are actually volunteers, but they're trying to save seats. We also wanted to recognize our board members as well. If you're a board member, please stand up. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight to celebrate 7 years of struggle, 7 years of victory, so thank you for that. But you know, as we're reflecting on our achievements as an organization, I think it's important to remember you know, just how critical and meaningful our work is, particularly in this climate that we find ourselves in, a climate of really hate against immigrant workers and Latinos. We've seen hate crimes in the last, since 2003, dramatically increase against the Latino community by 40%, according to the FBI, more so than against any other group in the country. You know, it's also in vogue right now to be an immigrant basher. We also see that Latino immigrants are often seen as less than human by the mainstream. And undocumented immigrants routinely have their workers' rights violated. And at Workers' Defense Project, we see that every day in our work with employers who violate workers' rights with impunity. And we just see how much this climate of hate has affected our work every day. But we've also proven, even in this climate of hate, our own human worth and the human worth of our members. And we're building a new pathway to justice with those that are directly affected by discrimination leading the way every day. From workers that have been denied payment for their work, from workers who have been seriously injured on the job, from those that have seen their coworkers killed needlessly because of neglect by their employers, we are bringing those workers together to not only address those individual instances of injustice, but to address the root causes. And this year we've made changes. Our members have made changes that have reverberated throughout the state for workers, not just immigrant workers, but all workers, particularly those in the construction industry. Just this year, our members in our organization released a groundbreaking study called Building Austin, Building Injustice about Austin's construction working conditions. This report showed what so many workers already know, that the construction industry is built and come at the expense of their wages, their safety, and their very lives. And as a direct result of our report, OSHA launched a federal investigation into Texas's working conditions, resulting in a 60% increase in construction site inspections across the state, saving countless lives. We've also had our members now sit down at the table with some of the highest-ranking Department of Labor officials, including Assistant Secretary of OSHA Jordan Barab, to discuss long-term strategies to improve working conditions here in Texas. This is huge to have immigrant workers sitting down with government officials at the highest ranking to talk about how to improve working conditions. This when our own governor said he didn't want any more OSHA inspection, that all we needed was more border patrol. We're showing our governor just what we can do. And just this month, or 2 weeks ago, City Council unanimously passed a resolution to address construction safety, the first city to do this in the state, by January 2010, by doing that with Workers' Defense Project, our union brothers and sisters, and our members. And so that is a huge win for our organization. We will see changes in this city, and we won't rest until that happens. outgrown the generous space that has been donated by churches where we hold all of our meetings, all of our ESL classes, all of our organizing that we do, and our humble office space. I don't know how many people have ever been to the office. And I'm sure those that have been there know just how cramped it is. If you come during the week, you may literally find staff and volunteers sitting in the hallway or even on the floor working because all our desk space is used by all of our volunteers. But I'm really proud to say, just yesterday we closed on a beautiful new building that will become the People's Community Center of Austin, to open in January 2010. I'm personally excited because that means I get my own cubicle. So we're very, very excited about that, but the building isn't just going to be for our members and our organization, but as I said, it's a community center for Austin. We want it to be not only our place and our space, but everyone's in the community. It will be open for meetings and organizing space. It also sits on 2 acres that anyone can use for any kind of event they want, and we want that to be the community space to bridge the gap between white workers, black workers, brown workers, and the progressive community here in Austin, to make one strong progressive community standing up for workers. So we are really excited about that. And there's going to be more information about that as well. So I actually want a big applause for the building, and I don't know if Peach Reynolds is here, our real estate agent, who helped us get the building. And Peach is just about one of the most generous guys I know, and donated back the profits to the organization for renovation. So please give Peach a round of applause. You know, but even on top of all these victories, it's really important to remember that, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. always said, the path to justice is long and filled with sacrifice. But that, as he always said, can only be achieved by the passionate concerns of dedicated individuals. At Workers' Defense Project, we know our strength is not derived from the power of money, from the power of the law, or from one single individual, but from people power, from our humanity, and from our refusal to submit for anything short of justice for all workers. At Workers' Defense Project, we say, La unión hace la fuerza, which means that in unity, there is strength. We believe each person here has the ability to make great change, but that when we raise our voices collectively, we are able to build and mirror the society we wish to inhabit, where human dignity and equality is placed before profit. And so we thank you for coming along and being part of this journey with us and uniting with our struggle, because we know that our community needs one community that's larger than just the Latino immigrant worker community to really win. And so we thank you, and again, thank you for being on this journey with us, because in unity there is strength.